Join us on day 5 of our tour of the Florida Nature Coast as we paddle up and down the enchanted Weeki Wachee River. The 12-mile river flows west to the Gulf of Mexico from the Weeki Wachee Headspring, where the crystal clear waters and high manatee population make it one of Florida's most popular paddling destinations. But if you're like us and don't take the necessary precautions before your day of paddling, your relaxing day on the river could turn into anything but.
Don't bite you at least.
Ah! Bugs. All right.
So stick around as we'll show you the good and the bad of our day on the Weeki Wachee River, and tell you what you can do to avoid the evil yellow flies. The Weeki Wachee Headspring and Weeki Wachee State Park are located in Spring Hill, Florida. The park is around an hour north of our home in the Tampa-St. Pete area and around 40 minutes south of Crystal River, which we had explored on day 4 of our Nature Coast trip. Many paddlers choose to begin their paddle on the Weeki Wachee at the Weeki Wachee State Park, where you can rent a paddleboard or kayak, paddle downstream for 2.8 miles, and be picked up and taken back to the park for $32. For only $6, you can also launch your own vessel at the state park. This had initially been our plan. However, we found that all the private launch reservations had been filled up on the day we were visiting. This led us 5 miles downstream to Rogers County Park.
We're here. Finally.
For $10, you can park for the full day, launch your vessels, or just enjoy the beach or other facilities.
From here, we're going to paddle upstream toward the Headspring at Weeki Wachee State Park. It is a few miles away from here, so I'm not sure how far we're going to get.
The launch process at Rogers Park was quick and easy, and we were soon paddling on our way to Weeki Wachee State Park.
Oh, you got them both down there already. Awesome. How'd you do it with the steps?
Walk down the steps.
The 5-mile paddle upstream got off to an exciting start, as it only took us a couple of minutes to spot our first manatee of the day. It also only took us a couple minutes to spot our first yellow fly, which we were not quite as excited about. We found the first hour or so of our paddle to be slow moving, but quite calm and relaxing as we enjoyed watching the fish and turtles swim in the clear waters below us. While we met several other kayaks and paddleboards early in our paddle, the river never felt crowded, and the cool water was perfectly refreshing on the 90-degree day. But we soon found the breeze dying down, our bug spray running low, and the yellow flies coming out in droves. Despite the worsening yellow fly situation, we continued our paddle upstream in hopes of seeing more manatees and reaching Weeki Wachee State Park.
We've been paddling for about an hour so far, and we found a nice little spot to take a break, to get some drinks, and reapply bug spray. We did check the map, and it said we've gone about 1.5 miles so far, which is about a third of the way to our destination, which is the Weeki Wachee Park. We didn't even know if that goal was realistic at the beginning of the day, because we are paddling upstream, we're battling a headwind, and our boards are heavy and slow to begin with, but we're making pretty good pace actually. So if we keep going for a couple more hours, we should make it there.
Ooh, the water feels nice.
After about another mile paddling upstream, we found a beautiful sandbar where we decided to take another break to reevaluate our situation.
Don't bring him to me!
Okay guys, we've made it about 2.5 miles so far, which means we're halfway to Weeki Wachee State Park. What we've learned so far is that This river is beautiful. It's like paddling through a fish tank. It's so clear, and we've already seen a manatee. We also learned that the yellow flies are terrible and the wind is our friend, because when the wind is blowing, the flies stay away. Unfortunately, we're out of bug spray. I'm wearing this ridiculously small shirt just to keep the bugs away. And we gotta decide here shortly if we're gonna keep paddling or turn back.
So after discussing our situation, we've decided we're going to keep going for at least a little bit. If the bugs... All right. So after discussing our situation, we decided we're going to keep going at least for a little while and see what happens with the bugs. So wish us luck.
We soon found ourselves questioning our decision to continue on as the yellow fly assault continued. If we would have known anything about yellow fly bites at the time, we would have turned back miles earlier. We later learned that yellow flies come from the same family as horseflies, are aggressive biters, and produce highly itchy and painful bites. They are most prevalent in the Weeki Wachee area in May and June, during the afternoon hours, on and around bodies of water, and unfortunately for us, we checked all 3 of those boxes. But after another mile of paddling, we found a welcomed sight as we had reached the entrance to Weeki Wachee State Park.
Woohoo! We made it to the edge of Weeki Wachee Springs State Park. The head spring is still a bit up that way. We'll probably keep going for a little bit. Yeah.
We decided to paddle a little further into the park, where to our relief, we didn't see a single yellow fly.
Hey birds. Oh, there's a ton of them up there.
Where are you going?
Turtle just fell in the water. We've been paddling around Weeki Wachee State Park for a while now, but we have come to the point where I think we're going to turn around and head back. We didn't quite make it to the head springs today, but that's okay because we're really happy with how far we did make it.
Yeah, we're a little short of our goal, but we did make it to the 3.5 mile mark, and that means we have 3.5 miles back to the vehicle, and we only got a couple hours until sunset. We do not want to be out here on the water after dark. The good thing is we have the current going with us and also the wind at our backs going back, so it should be very enjoyable.
So this is what happens when you stop paddling upstream. We just have to paddle to steer every now and then, I think. Look at this current. Floating downriver is faster than us paddling upstream, which makes sense. We do want to mention that once you are in Weeki Wachee State Park, there are some more rules that you have to follow. You're not allowed to swim or fish, so you do have to stay on or in your vessel.
I think we appreciate this a lot more since we paddled into it for 3.5 miles.
It's also really nice being here later in the day during the week.
We haven't seen another kayak or paddleboard for over an hour now.
Yeah. If you are thinking paddling Weeki Wachee looks like a fun time, but paddling upstream may be a little too much, that's okay because you can also put your board in or rent a board or kayak actually from Weeki Wachee, from the state park. With that option, you're able to put your paddle in or rent a paddle or kayak from the park, and then they have a designated spot to take out, and then they will transport you back to the park as well. So if you're more interested in doing a leisurely paddle, we would recommend looking into the options at Weeki Wachee State Park.
But if you're more interested in paddling 3.5 miles up current into the wind while getting eaten alive by yellow flies, then do what we did.
We are leaving Weeki Wachee Springs State Park.
Which means we can get back in the water.
That's true.
Sadly, our hopes that the yellow flies had all gone home for the night were dashed, and the swarms came back shortly after we exited the park. Thankfully, we were able to let the current do most of the work, freeing up our hands to swat the flies away.
Those are pretty ducks. Some of the houses along the river are so cool. Not sure if you can see the signs. They say mermaid parking only. I think I'd be able to park there. I am really impressed with how clear this water is. We know the head spring supplies most of the water, but along the way there's supposedly like hundreds of little springs that also feed into this river.
Having realized that we would easily make it back before sunset, Skylar couldn't pass up a chance to jump off of a tree, even though it meant enduring a few more yellow fly bites.
Skylar's having some boys show him the way up a tree to jump in the river. So not only do you have to jump, but you have to like hang out with the bees up there.
Hurry up, Jojo, watch.
They do kind of look like bees.
Do it, do it, do it.
Ready?
Ooh, it's high.
It is high.
You got this!
Do it, do it, do it. Woo! Now look at that, Jojo.
Yeah!
That was fun.
Don't say you have to do it.
Did you touch the bottom at all when you went down?
Yeah, but it was soft.
Yeah. This is encouraging. They've got a stoplight here that says Rogers Park, 1 mile to go. Not too much farther.
Our adventure ended on a high note as we encountered our second manatee of the day just a few minutes from our home base.
It's kind of swimming alongside us. Oh. Not only did we see some manatees today, we also saw Bigfoot. We really had a great experience out on the Weeki Wachee River for the first time, minus the bugs. Next time we're bringing more bug spray.
Upon arrival at Rogers Park, we were exhausted and ready to get back to the hotel to begin nursing our bug bites, but not before a quick stop through Marker 48. We wound down the night by sampling a few beers while the sun set over the beer garden. We especially enjoyed the Blackberry Vanilla Wheat and the Russian Imperial Stout. The beers lived up to our lofty expectations and briefly made us forget about the attack of the yellow flies. If you're interested in seeing more of our tour of the Nature Coast, the Gulf beaches, or other Florida content, please make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching! The yellow flies in Weeki Wachee are no joke. We're 5 days out. I've got a bug bite here, 7 just on my elbow, and 2 on my hand. And that's just on one arm. Skylar got it worse on his ankles. Here are 7 of his bites, but we counted all of his bug bites and it totaled 64. To avoid the same itchy outcome as us on your trip to Weeki Wachee, we'd recommend taking precautions against yellow flies, If visiting during the months of May or June, we'd suggest that you wear long sleeves and pants, bring plenty of bug spray, and avoid shaded areas and paddling close to sunset if at all possible.